Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is I am Shredblood, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Holy Hammerdin build. You actually start off with the Seeker of the Light set in Season 20 for the Crusader, and a lot of people are going to play Aegis of Valor set, which is a really strong build. So let's go ahead and jump into the starter build, which is the Holy Hammerdin. So 2-piece, every use of Blessed Hammer that hits an enemy reduces the cooldown of Fallen Sword and provoke by 1 second. So for the 4-piece set, you take 50% less damage for 8 seconds after landing with Fallen Sword. So you're going to be using Fallen Sword a lot, at least once every 8 seconds. And for the 6-piece set, this needs a huge buff. Increase the damage of Blessed Hammer by 12,000% and Fallen Sword by 1,000%. This needs a huge buff. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So your primary is going to be the Johanna's Augment. My suggestions on primary stats are going to be damage, strength, attack speed, life per hit. And for your foundation of light boots, strength, bit, resist, and of course Blessed Hammer damage wherever you can get it. And then we have the Guard of Johanna, the shield. The Blessed Hammer damage is increased by 223% for the first 3 enemies hit. You can get up to 250%. So my suggestion would be a strength, crit chance, area damage, and I don't know if this can get Blessed Hammer damage on the shield, but I would definitely look into it. And then I would go strength, vit, and resist on pants. So for both rings, I would go both crits and try to get cooldown rather than a damage percent for more damage. Cooldown is very important for this build to maintain Awkward's Champion profit. And our belt that we're going to be using is the Sacred Harness. Wow, I finally got that out. So the Judgment gains the effect of the Debilitating Rune and is cast at your landing location when you cast Fallen Sword. So let's go ahead and look into that a little bit so we can go ahead and show you guys. Where's that? Did I just see it? No. So here is Judgment, and the rune that we get is Debilitation. Increase the duration of the immobilize to 10 seconds. So there you guys can see it there. It's pretty great. And of course your gloves, you want to go strength, both crits and cooldown. Chest, strength, and bit, resist all, and any secondary resistance, as well as reduce damage from range attacks by 7%. And then we have the Gabriel's Bracer. So you want holy, strength, crit hits, and of course vitality. And try to get 100% of the max would be wonderful. I actually got 95%, and it is fan-freaking-tastic. So whenever your Blessed Hammer hits 3 of your enemies, 95% of the rest cost is refunded. So we did get a pretty god roll. Mountain of Light, the Primal Ancient, shoulders, strength, resist, life, and cooldown. So that's very nice. Helmet, you definitely want to go strength, crit hit, and then hammer damage. And then we are using Traps Pledge and the Compass Rose. For your rose, you definitely want to get holy and both crits. I was unlucky and I just didn't get them. And for your legendary gems, you want to use Bane of the Trapped, Bane of the Stricken, and of course Gorgok of Swiftness for that immense cooldown. As well, in the cube, we're actually using the Obsidian Ring of Exodiac. Hammer Jams is very important for this build. Enemies take 400% increased damage from your Blessed Hammers for 10 seconds after you hit them with a blind, immobilize, or stun. This as well, Fallen Sword comes into place because the Debilitating Rune that you actually get from the skill Justice immobilizes them for 10 seconds, which is allow you to do 400% increase in damage from your blessed hammers. So yeah, and then you gotta have faithful memory. Each enemy hit by fallen sword increases the damage of blessed hammer by 80% for 10 seconds, max 10 stacks. So this build is really good as you push into the higher GRs. As of right now, I have no augments. My DPS is about 1.3. So let's go ahead and check out the skills, and then we'll jump into a GR. So you want to use Fallen Sword Rapid Descent. Each enemy hit by Fallen Sword reduces the cooldown by 1 second. The cooldown cannot be reduced below 10 seconds. But as you can see, with Gorgak of Swiftness, we're always going to be dropping the swords. And then, of course, Blessed Hammer Dominion. This one actually allows it to orbit around you. But Limitless is better as you push higher GRs. Increase the damage of Blessed Hammer to 640%. Weapon damage as holy. And increases the area effect by 20 yards. So Limitless is probably the best rune. And then you gotta have Provoke, Too Scared to Run. Taunted enemies have their attack speed reduced by 50% and movement speed slowed by 80% for 4 seconds. Then we got Laws of Hope, Wings of Angel. Passive, recite the law, healing you and your allies by 10,000 life per second. Very good. Iron Skin and Steel Skin. You absorb 50% of all incoming damage for 7 seconds. And then Awkward's Champion, you get gain 150% additional armor while Awkward's Champion is active. Holy Corals, just for that extra healing. Finery, 1.5 strength for every gem socket into your gear. And then you got Fervor, you get 15% increase all cooldowns by 15%. So this is very good, increases by 15% and all cooldowns are it's pretty great. And then the Indestructible. If you didn't want to use Indestructible, there's one other that would be very good, which is increases the damage of Justice and Blessed Hammer by 20%. So let's go ahead and jump into a GR75 so you guys can see what I'm rolling with. So we actually got the, what is this one, the Festering Woods. That's great. That's wonderful. We use Fallen Sword, cast your hammers, and they will just continue to cast them. And don't forget to proc your Fallen Sword every 8 seconds, or else you might, there's a chance you might die. There's a very high chance you might die. Like right there, if you're not careful and you're not proccing. And it can actually go pretty far, so it's actually pretty funny. It's fun to use. Wow, it's a small map, but that's okay. And the more enemies you hit, the more damage you're gonna do. So really think about that. Oh, we got a conduit. That's kind of rare. I actually shouldn't even grab that. I really don't need it. Did he die? I figured he would die as I leaped the hammers, and he just completely got murdered. I expected to see more density, but I'm not. There's hardly any enemies, which we do not like. But as long as there are enemies, I have no problem keeping uptime on my Awkward Champion. With Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, and of course, you know, you gotta have all that cooldown. We only have 47%, but it's still pretty good. With Gorgak of Swiftness and Obsidian Ring of Zodiac, it's still pretty good. Then we got a set of blues. This build would be pretty hard to manage for hardcore players, just because there are times where you're not able to keep up your Fallen Sword, and at that point it just currently sucks. And it's really hard to survive. When you have arc, it's hard to maintain it. really, really hard. Just drop all the hammers. Just drop them. Fallen sword, get your stacks. And then as long as you're hitting enemies, you should be able to keep it up at all times. I like to pop it every 5 seconds just to be safe, because you can never be too safe. But as you can see with awkward and then indestructible, you're gonna proc your passives. And then don't forget to the stutter step when you find the leads. That would help you out tremendously. And then it's nice whenever you get like a shield pile on. That's kind of nice. Actually, no, that's really nice, because this build does struggle to survive. But I really only have like 2,000 into vitality, so my vitality is not a lot. I don't have a whole lot of life. As you can see right there, it's only capped at 478, which really isn't much. And you guys get murdered. It's really going to be interesting to see the different kind of weapons that you can use with this build in season 20. So we're gonna go. Oh, we didn't have awkward, so it should be interesting. And make sure you stay out of the resistances. So he got killed pretty easy on a GR75. So did we get any loot? Any good loot? Probably not. Of course not. How do we get good loot? But for the most part, there is the build. The complete Holy Hammerdin. That's probably been one of my favorite builds, although it is seriously underpowered. I feel that there are pieces within the build that could be improved, as well as Johannes Agma increased attack speed and damage of Blessed Hammered by 100%. I think this should jump up to 350%. As well as the Guard of Johanna could jump up to 400% as well. Same thing with Gabriel's Vambraces. This could jump up to 250 to 350%. There's a lot of ways that you can improve this build, as well as changing the well, this one you won't want to change the passive on this because it pairs really well with Hammer Jammers. But yeah, you could also improve the 4-piece set and change it to 60% less damage, or even 80%. That would be wonderful. That would make this build survive a lot longer, in my opinion. So there you guys have it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching.